Happy Carnival, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. Today, again, we're joined by our very good friend now, Mr. Clark Brennan, the captain of Krewe of Bacchus.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Bacchus.
Hail Bacchus and happy Mardi Gras.
So for starters, Shaq. I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah.
It is, okay.
Y'all got Big Shaq as a...
Shaquille O'Neal, man.
Yeah.
We're excited. In fact, when y'all walked in here, I just hung up with his team. They're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the weather looks like it's going to be perfect for the weekend, all the way through Mardi Gras Day, which is one last thing we have to worry about.
Yeah.
But we're ready, man. We're ready. We're excited, and let's do it. 56 years.
Y'all had many big stars over the years.
Sure.
But he is not only large, he's a big guy, but he's really a big star. Everybody loves Shaq.
Yeah.
You know, so like, to me, that's one of the finest ones y'all have had
Sure.
in quite some years.
We've been working on this for about a year with him. And everyone that we've talked to, other than his group, is just what a great person he is, what a great man he is, a great giving person. And that's the kind of people I want to be associated with that truly do give back to the community. Have made it great, very wealthy, worth lots of money. But some people, even though if they have lots of money, can be bad people. In this case, Shaq is worth a lot of money, but he's a great person.
Yeah, I see all like the TikToks and stuff like, where they show like, there was one that I saw where he went into, it was just like going into like a Burger King to get a hamburger.
Yeah.
And there was someone who had a large family that he could tell they were kind of down on their luck, or, maybe he'd heard them talking about it. And he bought them the dinner and then gave them like a couple $1,000 and was like, here, I hope
That's
that this
great. That's
helps
great.
y'all get on your feet.
Those
I
are
love that he
same.
does that. I mean, he's not looking for recognition usually. He's just doing it because he seems like a genuinely good
Absolutely.
guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
To me, that's worth so much more than a lot of people that, are generous for clout.
Right. But talking about his size, you've heard the story that we had to retrofit the King's float.
Yeah, so is that how y'all going to go get him from the airport? Are y'all bringing the float? Because, I mean, everything that I hear is like traditional cars, like he rips out the front seat and he sits in the back seat.
We'll pick him up in a limousine bus, and so he'll have plenty of room. He'll probably still have to bend down,
right.
But he's got plenty of room in there. No issue there. But we definitely lowered the float. You've seen the King's float before, so we lowered it by 4 feet, and then we took the old seat off. And then we put a new throne up there. So the throne, I think we measured it the other day, was 48 inches wide and 8 feet tall.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a big boy chair that I've seen pictures of, like whole families basically sitting in the chair at like the
We had it at open house. Yeah. It was one of the premier visiting spots where everybody was able to go sit in the throne, which is pretty cool because you don't get to sit in the throne way up top.
Right, yeah.
But this one we had on the ground, and people went nuts for it.
It's a great looking throne too. Are you keeping that, or is it going to
Barry Kern had it built. They did that. They sculpted it.
Nice.
They did the whole thing. We would probably go back to our classic throne.
Everybody else would look like a little kid.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a big chair. And so, Barry Kern, that's his chair. But there was some discussion about if Shaq wants it, they might work out a deal or something like that. They could get it to Shaq and get it to his place. But I truly feel when Shaq gets to be king and is king of Bacchus and Rod's in the parade and he's just going to go nuts like everybody else goes nuts, I think he's going to want that throne.
Yeah. Well, I hear that he's got several special throws, I mean, traditionally the king is throwing king's doubloons, know. But I understand
so he still has 250 to 400,000 king doubloons. But the catch this year from Shaquille O'Neal himself, King Bacchus, will be basketballs. So we have 1,000 basketballs that he will throw from the float. And so that will be a prize catch.
Yeah.
plus socks. Socks is the big thing.
Yeah.
And they do have Shaq socks and King socks, et cetera, from the King's float.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I don't know my number offhand, but I'll let you know my table if you can remind them to toss me one at the rendezvous. That'd be great.
That's right.
Y'all
But this year we have 250 customized items.
Yeah, y'all
And
have.
so we went a whole nother step further. David Blitch is our merchandise committee with Jennifer Burke, our general manager, and really pushed that envelope to try and get each float to do something individual per float. So if you catch float 2 and you catch the throw from float 2, float 3, get ready because you're going to catch different throws.
Yeah.
There are some duplication throughout the parade, but each float has its own socks, it has its own bead, special T-shirts, cups. Everything is special per float.
Yeah, I've seen the.
It's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Most of it is, hey, here's your cups, here's your beads, here's your throws, and it's kind of the same
Yeah,
throughout
last
the
year
thing.
y'all had a few floats with individual stuff. I mean, y'all
We
almost
did. We've
always
had some, but this year every float is
and every
separate.
float last year had its own socks, but this
Every-
year y'all have
right,
a collection
that's
of
right.
39 socks. That's a whole month worth,
That's right.
which is amazing.
And some two-a-days.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the pictures of the Oktoberfest floats,
Sure,
special throws,
sure.
and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crews, and it's no disrespect to them, but when they'll have like a customized throw or whatever, it might just be junk that you leave on the parade route.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but
I think a lot of-
like,
I think a lot of the-
the stuff that I saw just in that picture alone, it was like, ooh, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
And it's not just me being a Mardi Gras nut. It's, that's a really cool looking mug. That's
Sure.
that's a really cool stuffed animal or what have
Absolutely.
you.
And I think most crews now are really focusing on the reusable
Yeah.
throws. And I am still to this day hoping that one day here in America we'll be able to do our own throws. China's great, all the different countries, they do great work, but I'd rather do business in America.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to support your neighbor as
Absolutely.
opposed to, someone that you'll never even shake hands
That's
with.
right. That's
I
right.
notice a lot of the, like, I tend to throw a lot less, but I throw glass beads and, things like that.
Sure.
Instead of just the plastic. But I'm noticing a lot of that stuff is now coming from the U.S.
Right.
A lot of it's handmade.
That's right.
Problem with you guys, y'all order a lot of bulk. It's going to be
Yeah.
difficult because
I mean, we
usually
have 1,600 riders. I think we have 1,600 members. The total rider is 1,700. That's the amount of stanchions we have. And so, you're as a member, you can take your friend or two or three, whatever it might be. That's how we get to 1,700.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. We can have substitute riders or,
Yeah. Well, I
or
do
one-time
that,
rider.
yeah.
Right.
I had about ridden a few years ago, and I was like, I've already got my day plan. I just didn't. But he was like, hey, just pay for his throws and you take
Yeah,
the ride. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, that's hard to pass up. But no, but I didn't know you allowed that. That's kind of neat.
Sure.
So y'all's theme this year is Louisiana festivals and fairs? Or
Yes, sir.
Is it
Yes,
vice
sir.
versa?
Louisiana fairs and festivals.
Yes. Which, we mentioned the open house. We had the honor of going to and seeing the floats that y'all have coming out for this year. My goodness.
They are beautiful.
They
And
are-
truly,
And that's not saying that
Sure.
the floats look like garbage last year
No.
or whatever, but like,
David Mason and his team, they do, that's the float committee, and he's the chairman of that committee. And in working with us, myself, and the staff, and then also with Barry Kern and his family and what they're doing, and they have just raised the bar on the quality and the workmanship and the detail in these large float structures.
yeah.
And so it is amazing the technology today, and it's amazing the workmanship today. And so Barry has really brought on some very talented people over the last couple of years. And truly to look at some of those floats and see the workmanship in it is an awe.
Yeah.
I am. And I've been around Mardi Gras forever.
Yeah.
And so we're very happy with that, and Barry's done a great job. And we just wanted to bring, Bacchus has always been about bringing the focus to our city and our state. And what can we do to promote our city and our state? And so this year with the fairs and festivals, we knocked it out the park. Because truly, it is bringing the spotlight on more than just New Orleans.
Right, yeah.
Rain,
the
Breaux
Rice Festival,
Bridge, St. Bernard Parish,
Yeah.
Lutcher Parish, St. James Parish, all the different places that have the different fairs and festivals. And so I'm just glad to be a part of what we can do as an organization to bring that world spotlight on our state.
Yeah, speaking of the floats, that Super Sunday float, I swear, outside of like maybe a cruise, big signature float, maybe the most beautiful float and prop I've ever seen. That
When
thing
I was
is
discussing
gorgeous.
how it was done, that's the figure I was talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and I truly believe that figure will end up in a museum somewhere.
It has to
Yeah.
be saved
Yeah.
somehow.
Well, even the Indian that was on the float,
B.
right across from
Right,
it.
it's
where
a
it was
tandem.
like
That's a tandem float.
Oh, okay.
Super Sunday is a tandem float.
Okay.
So the main figure, when you walk down, was on the left,
Right.
and the other one
Yeah, the one with the
on the
house
right,
on it.
that will be the big
Yeah.
figure. B was the one on the right side.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, both of the Indian statues were,
Yeah, I mean,
beyond
they were
words.
able to capture beadwork and all
I
the
know
little
that.
lines and the feathers.
I know
It's
that.
crazy. Because, I took a good look at it, and I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
I mean, I also like the Mama float from the Cajun land
Yeah.
with the Mardi Gras down there with the chickens
Right,
and all
right,
that stuff. And the costumes on that float this year, the lieutenant on that float, they went to the town and they met with the people that make those costumes. And those are original costumes they'll have that were made there.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
that was a great thing that we were able to do for that.
That's
The other
that's
thing
super
we're really
cool.
excited about, and speaking of the Oktoberfest float, a friend of ours is going to be in a little bandwagon right before the float, and it's kind of a.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Those
I've seen the
guys
pictures.
are
They're gonna.
nuts. It's hilarious.
I have to remind them that now it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right,
These
right,
guys
yeah.
are fired up, man.
Yeah.
They're fired up.
Yeah, but they they're used to playing long days, so it's October. They'll
Yeah,
be
but
fine.
sitting in one spot and playing and walking and talking and rolling and it's
are
good.
so-
But they're gonna have
Yeah.
a blast.
They are so
They have
excited.
gone above and beyond, and I haven't seen the finished product yet. but
I haven't either. But
the
he's
sketches I
very,
saw
very
and some of the
excited.
Yeah, he
pre-work I saw,
Yeah, he
it's gonna
showed
be
us
cool.
pictures on his phone at the open house.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've known him for 20 years.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
To break the fourth wall, when we go to the parades, anytime that we see a band float, we call for him because, like, one of the first parades that we went to together, we look and like the first band float.
He was on it.
He was on it. We're like, David! you know?
Every one of them now, we're yelling at
Yeah.
the people like, what?
And the occasional time when we do see him on one of the floats, it's even funnier.
Yeah. We'll be looking for him this year.
Yeah,
Bob,
yeah,
'cause he's gonna
right,
be there.
right.
That's right.
How many floats are there this year? I mean, I know
32.
that- Okay.
Take it back. 32. And then we have the Queen float. We have 32 queens from the fairs and festivals
Yes.
coming to Rod and Bacchus. And people are like, I heard that there's women in Bacchus. Well, yes, there
Yeah.
are. So this year, We've got the Queen's Rod. A couple of years ago, we had the Saint Stations when we had the Saints' 50th anniversary. So there's been 2 or 3 times that women have ridden in Bacchus, but only for special occasions because we're a men's club.
Right.
But I've met several of those ladies, their moms, and it was a great thing. And they wanted to talk to me, and I wanted to talk to them. And they're going to come with us to Children's Hospital Saturday as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, for the kids at Children's Hospital. And this year, Manning's Family Children's, it's the new name now.
Yeah, right.
Manning's, but it's their 70th birthday is March the 1st. And Bacchus will be there to celebrate their birthday.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
We have Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser coming. We have an up-and-coming musical country artist, Timothy Wayne.
Okay.
He's up-and-coming, big-time singer from the state of Louisiana. We have the Queens coming, and we also have Justin Chason, Stale Cracker, is going to come. So we want to make sure that we can give back to Children's Hospital and be there for the kids. And we'll be handing out T-shirts and throws and all kinds of stuff. And it'll be a great day for Children's Hospital and the kids there.
I love that y'all do that, and it's that's another one of those unsung things that a lot of crews, just under the radar, just put those wonderful things together for the community. And
St. Michael's Special School does the big parade last week on Friday, and a lot of crews get together. We participate as well, but a lot of different riders and members from different crews come. And the kids get in and they do the parade, and there's throws from Bacchus, Endymion, Rex, you name it. I'm sure some of you guys do. It's Carrollton and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen videos from it.
It's a great thing for St. Michael's Special School. But you're right. I mean, there's a ton that these crew organizations do as nonprofits to give back to the community.
yeah.
And that's the great thing about
yeah,
Mardi Gras.
I mean,
It
it's
is a community event. We do have tourism that comes in, and it's a great economic boon for our state and our city. But it's still ultimately for our locals and our citizens.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of wondered, what would the city look like without Mardi Gras? Not just the parades, but all the help that comes from the crews themselves. I mean, how many different things do they support?
It is mind-boggling, and I was talking to my dad just 2 nights ago about, we were just talking about Bacchus, but Mardi Gras today compared to 50 years ago, it's a big difference. Mardi Gras today to prior to Katrina, big difference. Mardi Gras today prior to COVID, big difference.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras has exploded in a good way. And different crews do different things. Bacchus, we're only 1,600 members, and we want to stay that way because we want it to be first class, top notch, all service to our members. They don't touch a thing. They just get on the float and go and enjoy their time. There's other parades that have 3,000 and 4,000 riders, which is great. But you can't give that kind of service, but you're still giving people the opportunity to ride in a Mardi Gras parade. Yeah. And 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, you didn't have that. And Bacchus truly changed that 56 years ago. And it's a great thing for those people to enjoy an event that is not anywhere else in the world like we do it here in New Orleans.
Yeah, speaking of that explosion, I remember the year after Katrina, we were all just happy we had something going. And the parades were lackluster in general. But we were just
people
happy.
still had a good time, though.
Oh, man, we needed it so bad.
Sure.
But the following year, oh my God, no, you couldn't go to a parade and it not be 8, 9 people deep.
I know.
All of a sudden,
I think this year with the weather this year, because every year weather's a big part. I think with the weather, we might see some of the largest crowds we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, everything.
Especially for us with Shaq. I'm getting phone calls 24/7. Buy more tickets. Can I get to see him? And how do we do this? And where and why and how? But with Laura, the girl from LSU, Dunn.
Oh yeah.
At Endymion, she's a huge draw.
Yeah.
And then Orpheus has got great people coming too. So the focus is on the city of New Orleans and Mardi Gras.
So what do you tell them when people ask you how to meet Shaq? I mean, just kind of go.
I just be honest with them. I just say,
look for the tall guy. I mean, there he is.
you know, they talk about, you know, how do you protect a guy like that?
Yeah.
You know, and he's so big. You know, literally, y'all are taller than me, but
Yeah.
I've got pictures with him, and I come up to his elbow. You know, and so he is a bigger guy. And how do you see him? You got to go to the parade route. You got to go to the parade to see him. To honestly get to see him and shake his hand or take a picture with him,
Good luck.
the odds are not there.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's just too much going on. You know, the parade rolls with or without us.
Right.
And so at 5 o'clock, we're rolling. So it's a tough call. Y'all know that. You've been around long enough.
Yeah.
But even for our guests, our board directors, you know, people that really make Bacchus go, hey, man, can I get a picture with the king? Sometimes we can, sometimes you can't.
Right.
And so we'll see what Shaq wants to do. Now, if he wants to take a bunch of pictures, more power to him. If he doesn't,
I
then-
wouldn't be surprised in the least if he's standing by the exit door shaking every hand.
I
mean,
think
that's
so
just
too.
the kind of guy he is.
You know, his guys have told us he's just a great person, and once he gets into that energy level, and we all have ridden, and that the adrenaline starts to flow, it's hard to calm that adrenaline, and so I truly think, I know he's going to have the time of his life.
Do you know if he's seen Bacchus? I mean, he's more or less.
Well, he went to LSU.
Guy, yeah.
He's went to LSU. He was there 4 years or 3 years. You know, I've had limited time with him to really have a conversation like this. I mean, I've been with him two or three times, but I've never asked that question. So I don't know if he's been to a parade or not.
Yeah.
I know he hadn't ridden in a parade.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's been to a parade.
I remember seeing videos of him at Mardi Gras. But
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure where
Right,
what parades
right.
he saw.
That's right.
And you know, he's been around Louisiana long enough to know the
Sure,
parade. I'm
sure.
so
But this is a big deal.
curious, yeah.
You know, Bacchus is a big deal, and he's going to be the guy. And everybody's going to be yelling for him.
He's going to hear chants of LSU the entire
Oh,
route.
man.
So
LSU.
did he put on his rider? Because I saw a TikTok where he was interviewing. He was being interviewed by, I think, one of the girls from ESPN, and they were asking him about his love of New Orleans.
Sure.
And, you know, he was like, they were like, "What's your favorite food?" Beignets. Like every question that they asked him, his answer was beignets. So does he have beignets on his list?
They say his appetite is a 10-year-old child.
Yeah.
You know, they just said he loves just basic food. I mean, he just pizza, chicken, salad, grilled chicken. They said don't go. You know, New Orleans is known for the finest cuisine in the world, and they said Shaq ain't doing that.
Yeah, he'll be the one getting the chicken fingers.
That's right.
with
That's right. So, but look, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be laughing and carrying on, and we just pray for beautiful weather. We pray for a safe Mardi Gras. Speaking of that, I truly feel that with the assets on the ground today and in the air, because we're Seer 1, we'll probably have the safest Mardi Gras known to man because of the number of people that are on the street in technology today. Cameras, drones, helicopters, that sort of stuff.
Have you driven down St. Charles yet?
I knew all about it prior to. I
It's
knew
a
they were
little
going to do
wild.
that.
It's wild.
But you know, a little bit of irritation to be safer.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You know, I feel for the people that live on St. Charles Avenue, but they deal with Mardi Gras every year. You know, Mardi Gras was
That's
here.
why you live
Mardi
on
Gras
St.
was here
Charles.
before you moved into that house on St. Charles.
Right.
I
So-
think that's why most people live on St. Charles.
I agree. So for 2 weeks a year, their drive is a little more congested. I know this year is the same,
Yeah.
or worse. But we got to try to be as safe as we can and do as much as you can. But to protect
noticed-
everything, you can't protect everything.
I've noticed the police presence all over, and I think they're just more in uniform now. to
Yes,
show up.
yes.
I don't know if the numbers are really any greater, but they've been
My
having
understanding,
fun, you know,
my
they're
understanding,
not-
starting tomorrow, the numbers will probably double,
Really?
triple.
I mean, but they haven't been. You know, you don't feel.
No. Listen,
know,
you go
watched
anywhere in this
over or
world, guys.
anything,
You go
you know.
anywhere in this world. You travel to Europe, You go to the Vatican, you go to a historical landmark, you go anywhere, there's armed guards there.
Yeah.
Okay? And so for us to have armed guards along our parade routes, just to have the appearance of, hey, I'm here if there's
Don't
anything.
even
Yeah.
try it.
Right. This is nothing that's different than anywhere in the world.
I
And
was
so
concerned.
the Super Bowl was the same way.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was locked down.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but that's what makes New Orleans great. You can walk to the Superdome from 40,000 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You know, most cities, it's a 45-minute drive to the
Right,
stadium.
yeah, you
know.
gotta take
And
a
so
$100.
that helped us in that area of protection and being safeguarded for these big crowds and big events.
Yeah, I was sort of nervous that it was going to look like a military zone, but it really hasn't felt that way at all.
I was in town-
Everybody's having fun,
Yeah.
you know.
I was in town Friday and Saturday, but Friday night we did Shaq's Funhouse at Mardi Gras World, and so of the Super Bowl, and I mean every corner there was blue lights or red lights,
Yeah,
all the way down Porter's, all the way down Canal, all the way up Convention Center Boulevard. I think people appreciate that.
Yeah.
yeah.
They should, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people were, jostled by the tragic events that happened on
sure.
New Year's. And, that when they're coming down here to New Orleans and they want to come down here,
Right.
we need to make sure that, they feel safe and it doesn't feel like, you're walking around in North Korea or whatever,
Sure. Well, you guys know this. It's one time of the world in New Orleans that everybody comes together for Mardi Gras. Because everybody, whether you're a bad guy or a good guy, you want your friends, you want your family, you want those people to be able to come to the parade and enjoy the day. And so it's a time in New Orleans, black, white, gay, straight, male, female, everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Now, you always have some numbnut that does something, but truly, it's a time of peace, good times, let the good times roll. As they lay bon temps
Yeah.
roulette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
it's the one time a year where, complete strangers that, the only place that we
Yeah.
know them from is Bacchus Sunday, where
Yeah.
we're sitting, across the street from them, or,
You have 20-something
yeah,
year friendships with people
Sure.
I know one day a year.
It's like at the Superdome.
right.
At
yeah,
Saints
yeah.
games.
Yeah, the only
time
way
you see
know
those
them-
guys is the 8 home games.
Yeah.
If the Saints get to the playoffs, you might see them a few more times. But other than that, those people sitting around you have been there for years.
Yeah, those
with
nine
season tickets.
days a year or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, Yeah. So
So what about the rendezvous this year?
Yeah, so the rendezvous, what y'all got planned for the rendezvous?
the rendezvous is
Obviously-
going to be a blast. We got the Yat Pack starting at 7.
Nice.
Then we have Violin, which is a DJ with violins.
Okay.
Out of Vegas.
Yeah.
So they're going to put on a hell of a show prior to the parade coming in. And of course, the main entertainment is the parade, runs
Yeah.
right through the entire rendezvous. Once the parade is finished, we'll have ZZ Top come on. Everybody's
Wow.
Oh,
really
is that
looking.
who it is? I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
who
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
I even have tickets.
Yeah. So ZZ Top's coming. We're looking forward to that. Everybody's been really excited about having them. And then after ZZ Top, we have Rooney G, who's an up-and-coming, not an up-and-coming, he's been around a long time, DJ out of Vegas as well.
All right.
And a bunch, but with the DJs, you got to put the show.
Yeah.
And so you got to have the pyrotechnics, you got to have the effects, you
yeah,
got to
the
have,
laser,
yeah,
light
you got to have
show,
all
all
that
that.
with it, and we're going to do that. And if we get lucky, DJ Diesel might get up there.
Yeah, right,
you know?
right, yeah.
If there's a
That's-
DJ
we-
set up there, he's going to
Well,
make his way.
we have set up an extra table for him, just in case
Yeah,
he gets the bug and says, let's do it.
right.
So we're ready for it. We've spent the money for it. Rooney G he'd love to do it. And Rooney said he has played with Shaq as well. So they kind of know each other.
Right.
Will he want to? We don't pay these guys anything. We don't have any signed contracts. It's all a handshake. I want to honor you as King of Bacchus.
Yeah.
And for that, would love to treat you to a great stay in New Orleans, do a bunch of different stuff. And by the way, you know, if you want to get up on stage and, you know, play the guitar or sing or whatever.
Here's a guitar for you, buddy.
Hey, that's right. So in this case, he'll know that, Shaq will know that it's available. You feel like it? Great. You want to go home? You can go home too. You know, so, I mean, we'd love him to do that. It adds to the aura of Shaquille O'Neal as King of Bacchus.
Well, it brings stories home, you know.
Exactly.
Where people be like,
exactly.
You remember when I ran after the parade?
I mean,
Shaq got up
you know,
there."
Shaq threw me a basketball.
Yeah.
Shaq shook my hand as he got on the float. It's making memories. It's making memories for a child, a man, a woman, whatever, that lasts for a lifetime. And these celebrities, they need to know that they are celebrities. And the fans want to see them. And they're in the public figure. And so, but it'd be cool if he did that. But it's not necessary.
Right, yeah.
You know, Robin Thicke got up there, and he's a great singer. Now, at the King's party, he sang for a couple songs.
Yeah.
But at the rendezvous, he did not.
Right.
Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid's not a musician. He is.
Yeah.
But he had just finished Great Balls of Fire.
Right, yeah.
He got up there and went nuts on the piano. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just what gets him there.
Yeah.
You know, Andy Garcia. Again, great singer, but he got up there and he loves to play the
bongos.
The bongos. Yeah. So he did a set on the bongos. He went to the guy in the band and said, "Give me your bongos." The guy was like, "Sure, here you go." Yeah. And so it's the little bit of extra that goes a long way with making memories.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Bacchus holds that every year to where, you know, I mean.
Oh, I have memories just from the street.
Yeah.
A few foggy memories from the street. But, no, the rendezvous is a spectacular event.
Sure.
It really is. I mean, because it's really larger than life.
Sure.
And when that parade comes surround you, especially if like you're in the middle, that's a great place to be.
Just to kind of.
It's just wild.
Have you ever done a video from the middle?
No,
because you got the parade completely
really
circles you in.
You really have to be on your toes.
You do,
because there's stuff coming from every direction. And
that's true. That's true. That's true.
So,
but that would be a hell of a shot.
Yeah, I might have to do that this year. But the last couple of years,
I'm gonna talk to our videographer too.
Yeah,
I just thought of that. That'd be a hell of a shot.
Yeah, last couple.
But you know
years,
when my dad,
one of those 360 cameras.
Yeah. But when my dad and Blaine Kern had the idea of having the parade go through the river gate back then. They had just built the river gate, and you've heard the stories where Barry tells his dad says, "Well, how tall are those doors?" "Well, the doors are," Sergeant says, "you need to make the doors bigger." "Why?" "Well, a parade's going to come through." "No, sir, this is for meeting space." "No, a parade's coming through here."
Yeah.
And they made that decision, and what a hell of a party.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, for that Bacchus at that time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the convention center. And the convention center was made knowing that Bacchus is going to go through there.
Right.
And then since then, you've had Bacchus, Orpheus, and Damien's gone through it at times too, but of course they go to the Superdome.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
But somebody who's never seen that before, truly, it's got to blow their mind.
I mean, this would be my 4th year, and I'm still going to have my mind blown. Just it's wild. It really is.
I've been doing this as a little kid. And it just truly amazes me the excitement, the joy, the love, the passion that you see from your riders, their guests, the people at the rendezvous, all the people that put this parade together, and to see a successful night, it's just the biggest joy ever.
Yeah.
You know, to see it all come together. And a relief.
Sure.
And a relief.
I mean, I know y'all have an army of volunteers, but
Sure.
still have
Couldn't
to be
do it without it.
a nightmare to get
no.
this show on the road.
Could not do it without the volunteers. I mean, hundreds.
Yeah.
And truly, guys, I mean, we're already working on next year. We have a meeting next week, next Monday. You know, not
Yeah, not Mardi Gras.
Not
but
Mardi
yeah.
Gras. The following Monday. It'll be the
9th or
10th.
whatever, yeah,
It'll be the 10th. We have a meeting. It's a critique meeting. We get everybody together, all the lieutenants, the board of directors. What did we do good? What did we do bad? What do we need to fix? Any ideas to make it better? And we're always pushing that envelope to be better each and every year. And I take these meetings very seriously to
You
do
get
that.
to the point of perfection, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was about
listen,
to say,
I know
it's got to
you're
be
always-
getting harder and harder to improve it even more, because,
Well, what I want to improve is technology on the floats, and I want to improve on the throws, and improve on the costumes as much as you can.
yeah.
You know, you still want that classic look, but what is out there that can really push a person's button? You know, they say our attention span is 7 seconds. 7 seconds.
Jeez.
In the media world, they talk about
Yeah.
that. If you don't catch them in 7 seconds, you've lost them. And so what is it that catches that person for 7 seconds? That we're going to keep them for 10 or 15 seconds while the float goes by. And that float goes by, I think it's 20 seconds, 25 seconds as the float goes by. And so what can we do in those 20 seconds to blow your mind?
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about the floats earlier, how beautiful some of the props are, but y'all really go out of the way to decorate the float in its entirety.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
even back props you
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times, you know.
We try to
me,
carry that through, yeah.
I'm captured for that at least
Sure,
20
sure.
seconds.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, I love what y'all do.
Well, thank
you.
why
Yeah.
One
Thank
day
you,
I'm
thank
gonna
you,
have
thank
to
you.
make that ride with y'all, but
Come on.
we'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see y'all parade, you know, I mean.
Well, I can't
it-
thank y'all for what you do for Mardi Gras and what you have done over the many years y'all have done this podcast and
That's
bringing
kind
this,
of you. Thank you.
bringing this around for people to see that.
Yeah.
And I know your passion, and I know what you love is Mardi Gras, and you're doing justice for that. And we need more people like y'all to do that, to show the light of our city, to show the light of our citizens and the great aspects of what we do here in our city.
Yeah, and, you know, one of the big things that we always hope is that we're, you know, portraying the real life story behind Mardi Gras that,
Yeah,
you know, a lot of the times people only see what they see on, you know, Hollywood movies, to where they think that, you know, they get off of the float and get into the swamp.
yeah.
You know, and, you know, down in Houma, sure, that may be the case, but down here or up here in New Orleans,
Sure,
it's a little
sure.
bit different, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, and getting the stories behind the traditions and you know, the adventures of a parade every year. That's so much pleasure for us.
That's a great word, the adventures. What you just said about the adventures, and it
Yeah.
is a hell of an adventure,
right,
buddy.
yeah.
It is an adventure.
You know, it's not.
We
like,
hope we don't get lost.
Yeah. You know, it's not just you know, getting onto a float. There's a lot of planning
Oh, my
that goes
God.
on. You know,
Just as a rider, I planned for 6 months.
right?
know.
I
Yeah.
mean, because I mean, like I was telling you, I don't like to throw a lot of plastics. All year long, I'm like, ooh, I could throw that. Somebody
Yeah,
would like
yeah.
that, you know, and decorating.
Well, I've got
things or
several
whatever.
friends riding with me this year that have never ridden before.
Oh, there.
And so I got guys coming in from Florida. I do have 2 gentlemen coming in from Mobile, Alabama, and they are heavily involved in Mardi Gras in Mobile. And so they're like, can we come see us? I said, get your butt over here. And so it's going to be good, and I know it's going to blow their mind. It's going to blow their
tell
mind.
them
And what they do in Mobile is
Yeah.
fantastic as well, but it's not on the scale as you see here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I
And
lived
definitely
in
not
Mobile.
on the scale of Bacchus.
I lived in Mobile. I was a little kid for a year or two, and we had 2 Mardi Gras. I don't live there for a year, but we had 2 Mardi Gras within that span. And I'm telling you, those guys are going to tell you that they started Mardi Gras at least 20 times. while they-
I've heard it. Yeah. I've heard it. I've
We
heard
started them, no, you didn't, but okay, y'all can have it.
That's right. That's right.
So, Clark, I know that you're a busy man, you know, being,
Sure.
you know, days here before the parade. You know,
It's
I wish y'all
here, man. We're 24/7
Yeah.
right now. We're 24/7. you.
wish y'all a magical ride.
Well, thank you.
Hail Bacchus.
Hail Bacchus.
And,
Hail Shaq.
Yeah,
And
hail Shaq.
everybody else with Bacchus and everybody on the street that's going to enjoy as I say, the greatest free show on earth.
That's right. So thank you again.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
Signing
Thank you.
out.
Thanks, Clark.
Thank you.
Signing out. We'll see you on the route.